Alrighty, welcome back. Today we're going to be playing another game of Total War Warhammer. We're going to be playing another Greenskin battle. I think this is episode 6. Let me double check real quick. I think this is episode 6. This is episode 7, actually. Okay. So I'm just kind of shotgunning out a bunch of these episodes. The last one was very... I won't spoil it, but it had an ending... Well, let's just say spoiler alert. Okay, just go away for 20 seconds. Okay, spoiler alert, I lost and I was very mad about it at the end. And the reason is I just got hosed by flying units again. This happened in the Chaos campaign and it's so frustrating when I have like 6 units left on the ground. I'm dominating, you know, I probably have like 2,000 or 3,000 gold worth of units on the ground and they have maybe 1,500 gold worth of flying units and they can just cycle charges and just pick off my units. Just pick off my lords, and then just run away. It's extremely frustrating, so I need an answer to that. So now, I mean, it depends on which army I'm facing, but if it's something that has flying lords like that, if it's like Bretonia or Empire or something like that, I'm going to try out the Arachnarok Spider. Now, because it has a pretty good ground-to-air game, it does 48 damage per missile, and there's only one spider, but there are a lot of... goblins that ride its back. It's like 8 goblins, so I'm not sure if it does 8 times 48. That seems a bit high in terms of damage, but it could be that. It could potentially be that. I mean, that would be outside the range of possibility. I think a steam tank, you know, does something in the neighborhood of that kind of damage, so I just want some answer to flying units. And I could also, I mean, the problem with this is I could just run something like 4 Night Goblin Archer units instead of this. Sorry, I'm gonna just adjust that. My headphone a little bit here. It broke on me a couple days ago and I thought I had it fixed with some tape, just kind of jimmy rigging it there, but maybe this is not gonna work. Okay, whatever, I'll just do it like this. But yeah, I just want to try it out, so let's just try it out for a moment here. Let's just get in there. Enough preamble. I think it's going to be effective because it has very heavy armor, has a lot of hit points. It doesn't have as much hit points as 4 battalions of Night Goblins do, though. That's the thing. So I don't know. This stupid headset is going to drive me crazy. I'm kind of irritable a little bit at the moment. I'm going to try to stay positive, try to stay chipper. But, I do not like losing the way that I lost. I don't mind losing if it's a good fight. I mean, obviously I don't like it, but I don't mind losing if it's a good fight. That just was... If it's a good, clean fight, I'll put it that way. That was a good fight, it just wasn't a good, clean fight. Okay. Oh, no! I forgot to save it. Dang it. Okay, I gotta remember what I had. Okay, so... Well, he's going... Vampire counts? Okay, so they could flying cheese me. I think I want, I think I want Savage Orc Biggins. I could also just go with normal Orc Biggins. Let me see here. So I don't think I want any Doom Divers because they don't have any sort of artillery, and I could just make them come to me with ranged units. So I do want some. I want quite a lot of anti-large units though, and I think that the Savage Orcs are better. Let me see. So 3 Savage Orcs, and let's run. I want to try the Spider out. She could be pretty good here. She's good ground to air. I need more of a line though. Let me go for, can I get 4 Biggins, just normal Biggins. So I can get rid of this. Just buy like some Night Goblins and some normal Goblins. I'll try this out. Well, I forgot to spend that last 50 gold here. This headset is just driving me crazy. It's like I'm trying to think of what it's like. It's like if there's like just gnats all around you, and you're just trying to enjoy yourself and have a nice evening, and these gnats just keep coming in and just like, you know, jumping in your wine or something, or just like buzzing all around your ear while you're trying to talk to your lady friend. Okay, let me see here. Alright. So we're going to give this a roll. Now, I didn't see her range. Not very far. Not very far. But the Doom Divers fall off pretty quickly. I do usually like having artillery superiority. But the Doom Divers do fall off because they just don't have any ranged units. So the Doom Divers are usually pretty relevant because you can still send them into the enemy ranged units even after they get close to you. But I can still dictate the terms of this fight, I believe, because I have a ranged unit, which is her. There's a chance that I just don't even want to run flying units anymore. Or just flying lords anymore. They just get cheesed so much because they can't land, and I can't defend them. So if I get cheesed again this time, like if they have, you know, a bunch of, like if they have a flying lord and just a bunch of like Vargeist or something. Alright, so let's just run at them. Just get in there and kill them. We've got the best magic in the game. Let's just get them. What do they have? Okay, they have Cryptors, excellent. We want them to have a lot of monsters. What would be kind of bad against us is if they had a lot of Graveguard. I think we could still handle it though. What we don't want to see are Blood Knights. I think we can beat anything but Blood Knights. That's what I'm hoping anyways. These guys, that's their run. Wow, okay. Zombies. I have a feeling like there's going to be some Blood Knights somewhere. Probably a lot of them. Okay, no, he's got, okay, he missed. Is that the new thing? Just people try to snipe with that spell now? Instead of Spirit Leech? It does do a lot of damage if it hits you. I've been hit with that before. It's not fun. Okay, they have some decent stuff going on here. Okay, so I do want this hill advantage if I can get it. I'm just running back and forth. This isn't hurting my vigor too much. No, because I'm flying. Okay, there they are. There's the money. We want to get into those as soon as we can. They do have a couple of them, so I need some of these on each side. So he wants to get onto my spider. I know he does. Where are these other ones? Okay, so they're trying to flank around. We gotta get into them. I'm kind of okay with going into them with these guys. That's way too many on those. They're dead. Get over here and get these. What's he? Is he gonna go for my lord here? I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, those Blood Knights are done. These guys should be done soon. We've got Sneaky coming up in a second. Actually, they're right here fighting. This is fine. Oh, who's getting really hurt? This guy is. Alright. The other guys should rally back, I'm hoping. Right, Sneaky's coming up soon. Okay, so he's just trying to sleaze me. It's fine. Let's get out and cycle some charges. We got Sneaky should be up. Want it over here. Get into here. Alright, Itchy's coming up soon. Okay, he's back. Alright, he's out of there. Let's leave one big one back here to guard. We'll go ahead and send this one back over here. More Itchy's up. Go ahead and get some Itchy going. Right, let's get one of these over here. Yeah, that's fine if they want to go. Okay, so those guys are burning over there. Let's get over here and get a... Let's wrap around these guys and get a good flank. Got more Sneaky. Go ahead and pop one of these. Okay, that's fine if he wants to go after it like that. That's fine. Get in here. Take this guy out, or save him as much as I can. Alright, pop wall. Alright, he's trying to get into my spiders. Don't want to let that happen. We don't want to let him do too much damage to my spiders, we'll put it that way. We can't really prevent him from getting into that. There's more Sneaky here. So this guy's a little flying lord here. It's fine. He is doing some damage to the spiders for sure. Let me go ahead and kite the spider over to this direction. Jeez, he's gonna go for it, yeah. Go ahead and pop our other potion here. Oh, he's going for my lord. That's what he's trying to do. Let's try to see if we can wrap around here. Some good shots in. Alright, this guy's running for some reason. He must have just been terrored or something. I don't know. Am I just like pinned on this rock or what? Like, get in here, you guys. What are we doing? Are we just like chilling? Like, get over here. Like, run. Get out of that. Alright. I don't really care if the Lord wants to fight mine. I just want to kill him from the back here. There we go. That should about do it. Alright, that's it. I do like the spider. How many kills did she get? She got a lot. She was doing some work against this graveyard. Close victory? Are you kidding me? That was a slaughter. That was an absolute slaughter. At least I feel like it was. I mean, I lost like spears or something. That was the only thing that ran off the field. Yeah, how was that close? Like, I had over 50%. I probably had 7,000 gold left. Okay, so I like this build. I think this is fun. The spider actually does pretty well. Like, she was sitting in there just not taking any damage at all on the front line, just eating up skeletons. So she was a pretty good answer to these skeletons. Even though it seems like they would be a good answer to her, if you put her in the middle of the line like that, I think her reach is longer than a normal melee reach, so she might even be able to attack over other units. If that's not possible, then other units, if she's in the middle, are at least taking up a lot of space on her flanks so that you can't flank her. It's the same thing that I talk about with trolls in the Greenskins campaign, is with these large monstrous units, a lot of times the best way to use them is to surround them with other units. That way they can't get flanks, because things like spiders, giants, all of these things are going to do very well one-on-one, unit on unit. So if you're completely surrounded, like she was, with all of these other fighting units, then, they're not going to be able to kill her very easily. It wasn't until the very end when they started focusing and they got a hold of her with Blood Knights and their Lord focus firing her that she was actually taking some decent damage. So I'm really happy with that. She was great. I didn't notice if she fires while she's in melee combat. I need to look and see how that works and study up on that. But I don't know. The goblins might get to fire while you are also melee attacking, and if that's the case, then she's super good. And I also don't know if you can control what they aim for with their firing. So maybe I should try that out in a custom battle. And I'll report back to you and let you know what's going on there, because I think that could be very helpful. Because if she's getting an extra, 8 goblins firing every turn, or at least 6, however many are on her back, firing for 48 a turn, it's 200 something, and then her normal attack is 300 something. So she would be doing somewhere in the neighborhood of what the giants do, which would make sense given her cost. I mean, she costs more than a giant, right? And she has less hit points, although she has better armor. The real question is, can I have those units fire at a separate target from the melee target? If that is true, that would be awesome, because then I could use her to shoot over the head and just hit priority targets like lords, or fire those into other, Graveguard and things like that. So which of their units did well? So the Bloodguard obviously did well. At least this one. This is very surprising. That's the lowest Blood Knight kill count that I think I've ever seen. Now he ran his blood. I was ready for this when he went out with his Blood Knights. I had the Biggins on the flanks, and the Biggins are very good against Blood Knights because they don't get a bonus versus me, but I get a bonus versus them. And these only cost 700, and these cost 1700. So 2 units of Biggins are certainly. I feel confident in saying they're almost certainly going to beat up Blood Knights. And then I also had this guy really is always the hidden all-star, this Knight Goblin Shaman. He's so cheap, and he just does so much work. Like those spells, he never gets any kills, so it's hard to see exactly what he does, but very, very good. What else did well? I mean, these performed pretty well given the circumstances. They got 10 kills. The Black Knights always do well. You can't do too many Black Knights, or Black Orcs rather. You can't do too many of them because I've tried that before, and they do have counterplay to them. They're very slow. They're not really good at flanking. They're good at just sitting there and fighting. So you definitely want them in your army, but you don't want too many, and they're very expensive. So you can see they kind of have diminishing returns. Yes, this one got a lot of kills, but these two really didn't. It really depends on the matchup. And I mean, they wouldn't be good against something like Blood Knights because they don't get a bonus versus them. The Biggins would be better against Blood Knights. At least cost, gold for gold, cost for cost analysis, the Biggins would be better against them. I mean, these Biggins only cost 700, and they did some work. I mean, 50-50, those are good. So they did a lot of work. The Spider was killed 92, so that almost justifies her 2,000 cost. Not quite, but she did at least as much as these 2 Black Orcs. Did more than them. She's just there. She just has a lot of utility, and she's just a good helper. She's a good supporting unit. As long as you have units to support her, she's good in conjunction. These guys are still okay. I mean, they're about 700 each. Pretty good utility. If they're going to run Blood Knights or something, I might just even take them off of the Spiders just to save cash, but then also so they don't get that penalty against them. I don't know. That's something to consider. And it's also worth considering taking my lord off of that war boss, because if I took the guys off the spiders, let me just look at this. That'll be the end of the episode. Now, what do these do? Ability recharge. That's not worth 149. So if I think they're going to run a lot of wizards, I could get sneaky stabbing for 72 if I just have a little bit of gold left over at the end. That's definitely an option. I mean, it's pretty good. But we don't run a really long or a really short fight. Maybe if we went with more of a rush type of thing, that might be better. These are all too much. But with these guys, I'd save 200, 400. Now, how much did the stats go down? So they have 3,700 health. Let me see, 3,200. So they lose 500 health. A little bit of army mobility. A little bit of the charge bonus. I don't cycle charge a lot with them anyways. Definitely some speed, so they would be vulnerable. They'd lose Strider, which is really helpful for maintaining your vigor. So I don't know, but if I gained 400 from each of those, and then 550 off of him, and just made him a normal lord. I mean, I don't know. He gets like 1,200 extra health. That's like a third extra health. That's like a third of a lord. And that costs about a third of his price. That's really steep getting rid of that. It's worth considering at least going down to the boar. So that would give me 600 extra cash. And then that's enough for an extra Savage Orc battalion. Or a big one, you know, if I come up with 100 other gold somewhere else from coughing up, you know, I could cough up and find another 100 gold somewhere, then I could do it. So that's definitely worth thinking, is getting rid of mounts. If I'm going to be facing Blood Knights or Demigryphs, potentially getting rid of mounts, because then these guys could actually go in there and fight because they wouldn't get the bonus against them. So the spiders are good if they don't have a lot of, especially other cavalry units that get a bonus versus large. So that's definitely worth considering if I'm going against Undead or Empire, is to drop them down just so they don't get the bonus against them. And this maybe a similar thing with the Orc War Boss. That would let me get some more units. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I do like the adjustments. I think it was pretty good overall. And this is what we saved, I think. Let me just save this just to make sure. I know we didn't have a Doom Diver in there last time. I switched around a couple of things in there, but I think this is a pretty good sort of starting army. If you're just not sure, if you're not sure what to adjust, I think that this could be really good. So thank you very much for watching this. If you enjoyed this, please check out the other multiplayer battles. They're a ton of fun. We've got a lot of them on the channel. We also have legendary campaigns going if you haven't checked those out yet. For every single faction except for Chaos, and they're pure campaigns, which means we don't abuse auto-resolve system, we don't assassinate lords on the campaign map, and we don't do any other tomfoolery or shenanigans that would give us an advantage. We're looking for good, challenging campaigns, and that's what we get. I also go into particularly challenging fights a lot of the time, and you know, I don't always win those fights. But I try to keep it entertaining and interesting. That's the main point, is I go out of my way to make it entertaining, educational, interesting, just give you things you can apply to your own game and things that will show you a good time if you watch them. So it's not just about me showing that I can, you know, exploit the system and beat Legendary and all kinds of stuff like that. It's not about that at all. It's about the experience. It's about giving you entertainment, giving you education, encouraging you to become a part of the community through the commentary so that we can all become better Total War players. So let me see where I am so far on the leaderboard. I don't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning of this video, but I've talked about it in the last couple of videos. Okay, so climbing up a little bit. I actually beat the number 2 person in my, spoiler alert, I don't remember if I did this earlier or not. I'll just say in one of my videos, I beat Queen of Sex Slave I guess that's probably a she, I assume. Maybe not. But I beat her in one of my videos, so you can kind of flip through and see. I'll just tell you, it's Dwarf Video 11. Okay, it was Dwarf on Dwarf. It was an awesome fight. But that's just really given me, now that I know that she's this high, I didn't know that. I'd totally forgotten there was even a leaderboard until one of my subscribers mentioned it. But the fact that I've beaten her, and now looking, I know I've beaten, or at least I've played against a couple of these other people. Anthrax into Tampax, I know I played against him. That he might have been the Chaos person that I played against with the dwarves earlier. I can't remember. But that name sounds really familiar, because I remember it gave me a chuckle. It gave me a giggle. I think that's the thing that people say in Europe, right? You having a giggle mate or something like that? I don't know. I don't know British slang, but it's awesome. Whenever I hear it, it's pretty hilarious. I love it. I think it's a lot cooler than American slang. I mean, I do like American slang. We have some pretty funny words over here too, but British slang's pretty hilarious as well. I think that's British slang. Maybe it's not. I don't even know. But thank you very much for watching. That's going to be the end of this episode, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a wonderful evening.